Hello. It's 13:13 on my clock, I noticed when I pressed play on the video. So maybe that is a number that is relevant or an energy that needs to be here. If you're drawn to this reading for any reason, it could mean that there is a message here for you. Not everything is going to resonate with every single person, because it is a general reading meant to communicate to those it's meant to communicate to. So there you have it. I thank you for being here either way. Let's just go ahead and get some of these crystals out here. I'm just gonna pull some now that I know that this chrysocolla is a feminine empowerment crystal. It's always got to come out. Ooh, this one's really drawing my attention. I think this is the same. I feel like it's giving me the same vibes, even though it's a green and a whatever color that. Look at the sparkly. It's like gold something gold. I can't remember. Okay, so we'll pull some of these here, and then we'll get the dice out and see what the dice have for us today. We've got 11, 6, 4, and a 1. So there is a number for ya, or numbers. 11, 1, 1, it's a 2. And we've got B, otherwise known as Earth Mother and Birth, the Birth Mother. So that's why this feminine energy one needed to be out here. Let's get some of these. I'm trying to remember to call this deck instead of the beautiful deck, which it is, but it's actually called Cosmic Garden, in case anybody must have it as their own. I got it off Etsy. And I'm just going to do a 3 shuffle, 3 split, and then a pull. 2, okay. Okay, that one. Okay, let's go for it. So, this is us. This is where we're at. The Emperor. Okay. 7 of Wands. King of Swords. Justice. 4 of Cups. And the 4 of Swords. Okay, so what's really interesting right away is that we have this Earth Mother, feminine energy, with this Emperor. And the number being 11. I'm very much guided to this idea of the masculine energy. Okay, because we all have aspects of the feminine and the masculine within us. And so we've got this Earth Mother birth and this Emperor here. And he's looking over at this Seven of Wands. And this is very much, you've reached the top of your Everest, right? So a lot of people who climb Mount Everest, their goal is to get to the top, right? And so there you are. You're at the top. And from that position, you have this greater perspective. And it's funny, I just saw this meme or a little clip or whatever, and it was this granny, and she's just like, just think about it. Every corpse on its way to the top of Mount Everest once belonged to a very ambitious person. So stay lazy or something like that, right? So I'm getting, you know, basically people on similar paths but haven't quite reached the top yet. And that doesn't necessarily, like, especially in a spiritual sense, it's not a linear pathway for anybody, right? So just because you've got there first doesn't necessarily, like, you can't compare that to another person and where they are at in their path, right? Yeah, so that's all I want to say about that. So this Emperor is looking at maybe achieving a goal that has been achieved. Okay, and then we have this Justice right underneath with this Balance. And so perhaps this Emperor energy has been so focused on the goal, right, that, I don't know, hasn't maybe, or is in the process of finding the balance between focusing on the goal and focusing on his internal realm. So I'm getting internal spaces on this side, which is funny because the last feminine energy reading, her inside was very much on this side. So anyways, it's just, I'm just noticing. But this King of Swords, okay, and this transformation. So this transformation is always happening on a spiritual and emotional level. Also, look at the skin. He's blue, so he's like the sky, which is expansive, right? So again, it's an indicator for me of the spiritual journey, the work, the internal work, and the internal transformation. And I love how it's like the stars, right? Like we have these spheres of color is kind of what's making up. So it's the experience, because we are a mixture of our physical goals and our spiritual, emotional, and mental progress and goals, right? So I think this King of Swords represents you on an internal level, right? You're at the top, you're a king, you're at the top. And literally, like, you're on top of the clouds. You can't get any higher. You're in space, right? And you're made up of a collection of your experiences and your goals. And this Four of Cups is very much that internal work that is done, the internal reflecting on self and facing the humbling, sombering effect of facing those aspects of yourself that you don't necessarily aren't pretty to look at, right? You find a dark, cozy spot to sit and contemplate that, right? And then this Four of Swords down here. This, well, first of all, it's balanced. We've got the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups. And so this could be things that you have sacrificed in the name of your goal. Right? Like sometimes we have to make hard choices and let go of certain things that we might have loved or longed for or wanted, but it would have slowed us down or held us back from the goal. And so we had to put it to rest. We had to let it go in a way. So yeah, this is the balance between your emotional and your material. So the things that you had to let go, the parts of you that you had to let go on an emotional level, and the parts of you or the parts without you, the parts outside of you, that you had to let go of. Okay, let's try and get a little bit more clarity. I'm just gonna, oh, okay, Eight of Cups just came flying out. I don't think I've seen Eight of Cups before. And the Magician. Okay. So this Eight of Cups, this is, I guess, the emotional work that you have done and the path to the moon, Okay. I'm going to have to marinate that for a second. It's almost like momentum. I'm thinking momentum, right? We've got this Four of Cups here, you know, looking at the aspects of yourself that you need to let go of, coming face to face with those versions of yourself that are maybe hard to look at. And then the momentum, the 8, it doubling. Which is kind of part of the process, right? The more you look, the more you see. And so in doing this, you might have thought that there was only 4 cups of yourself that you needed to reassess. And then you realize, because we're constantly evolving and changing and adapting, that it's a never-ending process. You're always having to sit at that tree and pour yourself a cup of you and assess it and see where you're at. And I think this is all a really, really important part of you becoming your best self, which is the Magician, right? Okay, let's get some clarity from the keys of the Arcturian, excuse me, and see if there's something that they can add. Ooh. That's awesome. Let's see what it has to tell us. If I can find it in here. There it is. Transition. The energy of transition radiates trust and prepares you for new times. Every challenge makes old ideas fade away and simultaneously creates new possibilities. Do you recognize this pattern? You start something completely new and suddenly obstacles cross your path. With every new idea or challenge, we encounter parts of ourselves that need to be examined. Our limits are tested and stretched. Surprises make life fascinating only when you are able to see them. Otherwise, you will experience them as misfortunes that you need to fight against. It is important to see that you must release old convictions and old ways of thinking. Although it can sometimes create pain and make you feel uncomfortable, discovering yourself and your capabilities might surprise you. This is the beauty of new challenges. You will be challenged in every aspect. Okay, that was confirming for me this Eight of Cups. You know, for some reason I'm thinking of a kitchen, right? After you clean it up and get it all nice and perfect, you go in there and you make a meal, and then you have to clean it up again. And it's the same with ourselves, right? Every time we evolve and we change or shift or adapt, we're resetting. It's basically almost like starting from scratch again. And so you always got to check in. You always got to keep checking in. So that could be one of the things that you discovered in this process, is that, you know, it's not one and done. It's ongoing. You start looking at your cups, and you better get used to that. But it does, there is momentum to it, right? You start getting a process, and it's all part of the process to getting to your magician self, to recognizing your magic, the magic of who you are. Okay, I'm gonna pull a medicine card, which feels right. These unsatisfyingly sticky cards. See, I feel like it interrupts my intuitive, in a sense, because I'm like distracted by the unsmoothness of it. And so that might be a message, right? It's like this, we want to have a certain level of control of things. Like, I want to be able to just splay these out and have them all spread nice and not have to get all nitpicky in there. But there's some things that require us to just get in there and do the things we don't want to have to do. We've got spider and a blank. Okay. So I know the blank shields are meant to be filled by you. You know, fill in the blank. But I'm feeling like it's a wild card. It's an unknown. It's a yet to be written. Okay. And it's important. I mean, we need to feel comfortable in the unknown, because that's actually reality. We have a false sense of control, right? There's way too many variables to control everything. And so we're always in a state of unknown. Okay, spider. Weaving webs of delight, weave me a peaceful world, carrying creation in your web, waiting to be unfurled. Okay, spider. If spider has dropped from her web into your cards today, she may be telling you to create, create, create. Look for new alternatives to your present impasse. She can also be warning you that you are coming too close to an entangling situation. Spider could be asking you to use a journal to write out and review your progress. If you do this, you will not forget how you are creating a new or different phase in your life. Spider brings a message of a different kind when she sees you becoming a bit too involved in the weaving of your life plans to notice opportunities at the outskirts of your web. If this is the case, Spider gets your attention so that you notice that something you have woven has borne fruit. Congratulations! Spider caught you just in time before you missed the opportunity on the edge of your web or reality. The most important message from Spider is that you are an infinite being who will continue to weave the patterns of life and living throughout time. Do not fail to see the expansiveness of the eternal plan. Yeah, it's bringing me back to this Eight of Cups again, right? Because it's part of this path. It's part of this pathway that's leading you somewhere beyond the moon. If this doesn't apply, I'm being called to read the opposite meaning as well. If this does not apply to your situation, take a look at another message that contrary spider medicine brings you: a lack of creativity. If you fail to use your talents to get the web spinning, your lack of creativity can change into destructiveness. If you are feeling stagnant and unable to move in a positive direction, you may come to resent others who are doing well. This resentment will become a black widow spider and eat you up. And the only one to mourn your demise will be you. Get moving, find joy in new ideas and the accomplishments of others, and use them to propel you into the new phase of creative spinning on your own web of delight. Observe Spider's web and find pleasure in the ideas you receive from her universal language. So that's really beautiful. And I love that the spider is under the magician here. Right? But it is a balance. It is a balance. It's a balance of like the spider. Well, it depends on what spider, I guess. I was going to say the spider doesn't go hunting for its food. It builds a web and trusts that the food will arrive, right? But then, you know, my literal brain went to hunting spiders, wolf spiders, jumping spiders, trapdoor spiders, all those ones that do hunt. But anyways, we're talking about the orb weaver here. And so there's a balance between doing the work and trusting the process, right? And that's exactly it. Just because you've reached the top of this mountain, just because you've reached this one goal that you had, the goals, it's, you know, this could represent, one of these cups could represent one of the mountains. And every time we achieve a goal, there's a new one. There's a new one. And these become the steps on your path. Right? Like people always think, oh, life will be so great once I have this goal set in place. And then they get that goal, and then what? Right? Life doesn't just end. A new goal, hopefully, if you follow spider wisdom, keep pushing, keep challenging, keep creating. And yeah, I already forget what this card. Transition. Yeah, new challenges. New challenges, as they arrive, they offer new perspectives of you, right? So every time you're taking a beat and reflecting upon those parts of you that maybe you witnessed or were confronted by, you get an opportunity to evolve, or when you do evolve, you become something new, and therefore there are things about this new version of you that need to be assessed, right? I don't know if that made sense, but it is there. It is there. Okay, I'm gonna see if we can get a little bit more clarity on this message. Get the divine masculine. The rune being about new beginnings, earth, and birth. You're like giving birth to a new you. Every time you achieve a goal, it's an opportunity for you to set a new one and therefore evolve. And we are constantly evolving. Okay, those are them. They just came right out right at the beginning. Yarrow and Dandelion. Dandelion is fire and earth. And it indicates a time and place for you to shine and play, and while doing so, be successful at what is at hand. This plant spirit can indicate success and good fortune in business and goals coming to fruition, all with a lighthearted, fun attitude for you. Enjoy your success and keep it going. Where is your eye drawn? The root, the leaf, the flower, or the seed? Each can deepen the meaning of the divination. The solar attributes are the most flower-like. The roots help you to get to the root of the matter and shows you need grounding or purification. The leaf is cleansing and nutritive, indicating support. The flying seeds are of dreams and travel. Each deepens the basic meaning of the dandelion card. What is preventing you from moving forward and shining? What toxicity are you holding on to internally, and why? Learn to release it. So that was the reverse meaning of it. I don't know why I'm being called to read the reversed meanings today. But the affirmation is, I am both joyful and strong. So yeah, you could... it could be a bit of a struggle for you between your goals and ambitions and your internal world. You know, your internal world doesn't have to be all serious, doom, gloom, reflective. Don't forget to be joyful. Don't forget to live in the moment, right? While you're in the process of, I was going to say, breaking yourself open like an egg, right? To reveal the new life inside. Birth. Yarrow 31. Is water, air, earth sign. Yarrow indicates that it's a time to consider who and what is allowed into your life. If you have a tendency to close down and limit yourself, consider opening to new people, situations, and even new spiritual allies. If you tend to be very open, perhaps you should pull back a bit and focus upon deepening the relationships you already have in your life. If you can help someone in need, someone who has been harmed, now is the time to offer aid, like Chiron offering yarrow to Achilles. I am protected from harm and open to possibilities. Yeah. So it's reversed. Inverted, it indicates a violation of your boundaries and a need to seal up the wound and reestablish your protection shields. If the episode is not clear in your mind, reflect on recent communications and interactions, how someone might have crossed a line or contributed to your loss of energy. Is there a person or situation you are obsessing over? That could be your key. Take this time to reestablish your own personal space and be careful who you let into your space, mind, and heart. Okay, hopefully that was a message for somebody. There. Okay, should we have the wild one cards, or let's get a crystal card here. See what the crystal cards have to say. These ones are tricky to shuffle, I think. Yep, they don't really want to bend at all. And they're wide. Okay, that was the one that wanted, and that one. Okay. Okay. We've got 3 and 41. So that's 4 4s over here, including this one. And there's a 3, 3 1, and a 4 3. And also the Magician is 1. Sorry, I didn't do the numbers. This is a 4 as well. The Emperor. Okay. 41 is wisdom. Understanding, insight, and enlightenment. Wisdom is gained through understanding the underlying patterns that trigger emotional responses in your life. Your accumulated experiences, including all your successes and failures, create your unique view of the world. It is only when you connect to the source of universal love and experience the divine in all things that you can transcend your mind's limitation and make decisions based on higher understanding. Wisdom is the ability to balance the knowledge of the past with the voice of your intuition and universal guidance. You are guided to look beyond the initial emotional reactions that surround a situation in your life. Accepting your heart's counsel invariably shifts the perception of your understanding. It is from this position of love and compassion that truly wise decisions are made. Honoring all events occurring in your life as they create the opportunity to express your true self. Continue living from the heart and trust in the unconditional love within all things. Yeah, there might be some grief or regret because there's this body here. Maybe you chose your earthly ambitions over an emotional one. I'm just thinking of like sacrificing your love for a person to chase after an ambitious goal, getting to the top of that mountain. And now that you're at the top of the mountain, you're like, oh, oh, now what? Well, now it's time to reassess and create a new goal with wisdom, understanding that it's all part of the path, and make better decisions. Remember to live in joy, right? Help others if you're in a position to. understanding, insight, and enlightenment. Okay, and then this 3, which is just glowing over there underneath that light, is the Dream Weaver, which is gorgeous with this spider around. So dreams, desires, and unlimited potential, right? Magician, weaver. You have embraced the universe of unlimited potential and are a conscious creator, a dream weaver. The fires of creation burn from within as you journey into the unknown and revel in the mystery of creation. Drawing this card is a sign that you are aligned with the creative forces of the universe. You have all the tools and strength of spirit required to follow the path of your inner knowing. Your future awaits. May you move with power, purpose, and love. Enjoy the fruits of discovery as you embrace the loving creative force of your divine self. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay. So a lot of these messages, you need to tap into your inner knowing. What rings a bell for you? What causes a vibration? And it could be a word, it could be a line, it could be an image. And so my job is just to get them all out there, put them all in your face, and see if something rings true. Right? Okay. I'm going to do a I Ching, because it's I find the I Ching to be quite blunt, really. And I appreciate a little bluntery every once in a while. There's a time and place. But sugarcoating and coddling, right? It's just like we're strong enough to be able just to see the truth and not hold somebody else responsible for how they delivered the truth, because that's just a deflection of the truth. Somebody tells you the truth and you're like, I don't like how you spoke to me, I don't like the tone of your voice, I don't like the words that you used, and you're negating the truth that was told, right? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Chai Jen. Or is that Chia? Family. Inner workings affect outer aspects. Faithfulness, loyalty, and obedience are especially sound now. Actions speak louder than words. Love, not fear, governs a happy home. Persevere in well-established social customs. In the beginning, establish firm roles and a well-defined system. Find a comfortable position within the situation. Deal with immediate needs of those close to you. Keep a strong, balanced budget and a strong, stable head in the affair. Okay, so that goes back over here. If you're in a position to help somebody, be there for somebody. Or even allow somebody to be there for you. Take it. Okay. And then also let's get one of these cards from the Power deck. Which I try not to look at. Okay, we've got creativity, dream, and skill. Your creativity is like a story. It needs a voice, a way to be heard in the world. Creativity has moved into your hut. That's what this one was talking about, wasn't it? This one? Creativity is part of your future life. People think that creativity is like stories, that is, it is outside of them, like truth or power, but it inhibits you, like your own life force, and it animates your being. Creativity is within the crystal palace of your mind. You are about to go on a long journey, and it is called your life. There it is. Creativity, you will learn to heal the evil forces of darkness. You are a warrior in the fight against ignorance. The dark sorcerers in life are created within each of us when we live a life of unexpressed creativity, when we live someone else's truth and not our own. Define your own creativity and live that creativity in the world. That made me think of this card. That's sacrificing something for something else. You know, you might have sacrificed your creativity. Like somebody who had the opportunity to be an artist, and that's what's in their soul. That's what's in their heart. But, you know, they were told by everything that, everything outside of themselves, that they would be better off, you know, being a doctor or something. I don't know why doctor came in, because we need doctors, but it's just, it doesn't seem like a creative avenue, right? Basically, you sacrificed something that your heart was telling you to do for something that your mind told you should do. And so you're in a space right now where you might be feeling that. You know, you've come to this place in your life where you're just like, what have I been doing this whole time? And so you're in this place of contemplation, but you know, you're going to find your balance, or you're finding your balance, right? And you've got permission to express yourself and be the creator that you were meant to be. And there's so many ways to create, so many ways. People call themselves not creative because they can't paint a portrait of a person, right? Like we set these boundaries around what being creative is about, but it's so beyond that. It's so beyond that. Okay, so that's the image. That looks like, is that a fire symbol? Some crystal palace in the world. We'll get the book and see what that has to say. Okay, 16. What was this number? 40. Another 4. Another 4. One day you will remember the great dream, and the way will become known to you. You entered into life through the veil of the dream, because your reason for being here must be kept secret from you until you find your way home. You don't know who you are, but one fine day you will remember. It is like creation looking for itself. You are in the oneness with all life, though you are not aware of it. You will awaken from the dream. Let the great mother rest within your spirit. She is the universe. She is the womb of all life. She is the light that shines from your eyes, illuminating your daily dreams. The possibilities you dream of will become your reality. Beautiful. And Earth Mother is there. Beautiful. And then skill 10. Expressing your highest nature through your work is sometimes easiest when work is not exactly as you wish it to be. There are hidden gifts within friction. Therein lies the secret way to a graceful life. You are not what you do. Your work is a higher mirror, providing a reflection from which to learn in your evolutionary process. Then work becomes a higher skill, and you begin to fine-tune not only your physical self, but your spirit. A Zen garden expresses the essence of life and a highly perfected skill. Come to the inner truth that produces true skill. Awesome. Okay, there is additional messages. So 40, East Yellow. The painting is entitled The Crystal Palace. The pagoda is a symbol for the creative self. It is open to allow for the openness of mind. If the pagoda were your physical body, the crystal would symbolize your spine, the conduit for your energy. The crane is a guardian of happiness and longevity on your pathway to eternal creativity. The snowy mountains symbolize the higher states of consciousness required for true creativity. Creativity is a teaching of the East because it takes strength to delve into the deepest parts of your spirit and then to manifest the truth that you find there. It's beautiful, right? It's beautiful. Okay, and then, what's another number here? 10. The painting is entitled All is One. Skill is a south card because it has to do with your physicality in the world and tuning yourself to your highest degree of accomplishment. As in all things, there is a lower skill and a higher skill. The lower skill is the ability to do something without spirit, simply doing a job. The higher skill requires finesse. It requires the perfected balance of your totality of physicality and spirit. Then true skill is born. In this painting, a monk, a shaman symbol of spiritual activity, is reflecting on a Zen garden, where the stones represent different aspects of life and endeavor. In the center is the sphere of higher knowledge, of self-understanding of the inner world, which leads you to the higher levels of accomplishment in the outer world of true skill. And then, what was this one? 16. The painting is entitled The Celestial Dream. It represents the feminine power of the earth. Dreams from the unconscious flow out of the woman's head into daily reality. The lotus and the butterfly symbolize transcendence into higher consciousness. The universe at the bottom of the waterfall represents the spheres of your spirit and the life of consciousness within your being and without your sacred dream. Have the courage to manifest your dreams in your life. This is the card of the West because dreaming, transformation, death, and rebirth are part of your West training. The flow of the waterfall represents the energy of dreams as they flow through your life and transform you. Awesome. And awesome balance. Because the masculine energy, your emperor here, emperor energy, is masculine. And it's about finding the balance between your action and your heart, between your thinking and your intuition, between the doing and the dreaming. Okay, so there you have it. Let's get a couple, see if the angels have anything they want to add to this message. And then we will be on our way. Peace begins in your own heart. Be as light as the angels. Feel the power of the angels and let it carry you through life. And meditation is an energy of the soul. Explore it. Okay. So there you have it. Hopefully something resonated with you. Something hit home. Something felt true. Something inspired you or made sense. And yeah, we didn't talk about this one too much, but it's a wild card. This is you creating your own, right? You filling in your own blank, you facing the void, you being confronted with a blank canvas. Anything can be created on a blank canvas. What will you create? Okay, there you have it. Have a great day, night, evening, month, year, life. Love you, bye.